Hi, welcome to Shut the Book Up. I know I'm late again and I'm really sorry. So today's Thursday, so what I'm going to do, normally I pick out 3 books that I'm going to read for the next fortnight. So what I'll do instead is I'll go through the 3 book reviews on the books that I've already read, and I will also pick out, well, I'll also go through very briefly the books that I'm going to read. So the first book that I picked to read was The Muse by Jessie Burton. So this book is set in the summer of 1967. Well, actually it's set in 2 places. You've got summer of 1967 and you've got Spain 1936, but I'll go through that anyway. So in 1967, a woman called Odell gets a job at the Skeleton Gallery in London. She gets a job as a typist and she's hired by Marjorie Quick, who's her boss. Now she ends up going to a wedding, her friend's wedding, and she meets Laurie. And Laurie has a painting of a lion and thinks that it'd be worth quite a bit. So they take it to the gallery, and Odell can see that Marjorie knows something about that painting just from the way that Marjorie's reacted. So she's trying to get the truth out of Marjorie. The painting, so this is where it's set in Spain in 1936. Olive Schloss is the main character at that time, and she moves to Spain with her parents. Now her parents don't know that she's turned down her place at Slade, because she thinks something's better coming her way. She thinks she's destined for something better than that. And her father, Harold, he's an art dealer. He's a renowned art dealer. So she's very much into her art and into her painting. Now, they end up meeting 2 strangers. They meet Isaac and Teresa. Teresa's Isaac's half-sister. And they have a plan to dupe Harold so that they can make their mark on the international art scene. So they're not they're not good people, if you will. But Teresa very much likes Olive just because they have that that connection, because they're both into art. I found that throughout this book, Odell and Olive are quite similar, as they both want to be known. Odell is a writer and she wants to be known for that. And Olive wants to be known for her art, so she wants to be known as an artist, which her dad doesn't really approve of, really. He doesn't think she's got what it takes, but she does. But with this book, you can tell that Jessie's really done her research on the Spanish Civil War and the history behind it all, and it was an incredible read. It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. So I'll probably end up reading The Miniaturist, because that's also by Jessie. But yeah, that was brilliant. Loved it. The next book that I said I'd read was The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. It's a very short book. Really short. But it's about a shepherd boy called Santiago, and he's in Spain and he wants to find treasure. And the book is all about finding yourself and rising above your failures. And it's quite a philosophical book. It's well worth the read, and it was beautifully written. And I thought it was just an insightful book. I thought it was wonderful. But yeah, he ends up meeting this girl along the way as well, so that's a bit cute. But yeah, he also meets the alchemist who gives him advice. So he tells him to follow your dreams and listen to your heart. And it's very adorable. So that is a great book. That's worth the read. I'll definitely be buying more of his books. The next book that I said I'd read was Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. This was amazeballs. I loved it. It's definitely, I've said this a lot, but it is my kind of book. It's young adult fiction and it's brilliant. There was a lot of fantasy and action and lots of twists and turns. So it's about a girl called Mare, and she's a red blood, and she discovers she has powers. Now the Silverbloods are also aware of this, and they fear her because she's more powerful than them. They're both divided, obviously, the red and the silver bloods. So what they do is they pretend that she's a lost silver princess just so that they can keep an eye on her, really. But she goes along with it, and what she ends up wanting to do is she plans on betraying them. So there's a lot of twists and turns in this book, and it's brilliant. And it's the first in a series, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading the second book, just to see how it turns out. I'll probably read the whole series, and at some point I will review them. So yeah, that was a fantastic read. Loved it. That is a 10 out of 10 for me. So those are the 3 books that I said a review. Now I've also picked 3 books that I'm going to read for a fortnight's time so that I can review them. So the first one is The Snow Child, and I really don't know how to pronounce the author's name. Owen Ivy. I'm going to go with Owen Ivy. So this is set in the past. It's set in 1920, and it's about a story of 2 people, Mabel and Jack, who have just up and left to have a fresh start by themselves, just like in the middle of nowhere from what it seems like. Now Mabel has lost a child before, and a little girl ends up coming to their doorstep, and it's a bit of a mystery because it's like, who is this child? So I'm looking forward to reading this. It seems like it is a bit of a thriller. I think the reviews on this say it's terrific, spellbinding and enchanting. So I think I'm going to love this book. So that's the first one that I'm going to read, is The Snow Child. The second book that I'm going to read is The Versions of Us by Laura Bennett. I really liked the look of this book, which is why I bought it, because it's really quirky and bright. It's quite cute. And again, it's got good reviews. It's a #1 bestseller. So it's about Eva and Jim, who, excuse me, and it's just about different stories of what could have happened, because a car swerved someone who's riding a bicycle, so it's going through what could have happened for each different scenario that could have come out of that, and how their life could have been. So that is something I'm looking forward to reading. It kind of reminds me a bit, and I know it's definitely not the same, but it reminds me a bit like The Time Traveller's Wife. I don't know why, but it does. So that's the second book that I'm going to read, The Versions of Us. And then the last book that I've picked out is Always With Love by Giovanna Fletcher. If nobody knows who Giovanna Fletcher is, she's Tom Fletcher's wife. Tom is from McFly. He's from McFly. I bought this book when it came out, and I did read it, and it was amazeballs. So I'm going to try and not give away too much about it. But it is a romantic novel or book, and it's about Sophie, I forgot the name, Sophie. She's meeting Billy's parents. Billy's her boyfriend, and he's also a famous Hollywood actor. So it's going through how chaotic that is, being in Hollywood and being followed by the paparazzi, and how it is meeting his mum, which is kind of a little bit like real life when you've got to meet your fellas, you know, parents. It's a bit awkward. I always find it awkward. But she has quite a few books. She's got 5 books. She has 5 books. And they all look so cute. She's also got another book that's come out. But yeah, it's part of a sequel. And I will read this again, and I will be able to do a book review for it. And hopefully I will be on time. So Tuesday, in a fortnight's time I will do my book review. But thank you for watching and have a good fortnight, guys. Bye!